Hey Ultra friends, this video is going to be a lot less structured than my usual stuff. I have my script right here in front of me. I'm probably going to look down at it a lot because I am not wasting time on editing. I want to try and do this in as close to one take as possible so that I can just get this video out to you as quick as possible. YouTube is trying to set up a new AI-based age verification system where they are going to track what you watch to determine how old you are, and then force you to use your ID to prove that you're an adult if they incorrectly decide that you're a child. They're going to completely ignore if you've previously said that you're an adult. They're just going to try and figure that out on their own, using a shitty AI system that is frequently wrong. It should go without saying that this is a problem, and I have a timestamp on screen here for what to do if you're with me on that. But I've seen some people who genuinely can't understand why this is an issue, so we're going to explain this. First of all, by far the biggest thing, they should not be allowed to get this level of surveillance on us. As many people have said, 1984 was a warning, not a checklist. We do not need Big Brother watching us 24/7, and in fact, Big Brother watching us is probably bad. Please don't create the torment nexus from hit book. Please don't create the torment nexus. If they can track what you're watching and censor based on age, what's next? And yes, they are already tracking what you watch, but tracking for targeted ads is not the same thing as tracking to try and figure out how old you are and then use that to determine what you're allowed to watch. That is called censorship, and it is bad. We don't want big corporations and governments to have a panopticon. Second, if they get access to your ID, that is a huge privacy concern. Because, yeah, they say they're not going to keep a hold of the ID, but personally, I gotta be honest, I don't believe them. What happens when they get hacked? What happens when they have everyone's information and everyone's ID because they forced us all to hand it over, and then suddenly, that's just out there? We already give up a lot of our personal information. The last thing we need is for them to also have access to our ID and have that everywhere. That's not something we want out! Nor is any of the rest of the shit they're tracking. What happens when everyone's IDs and credit cards get leaked to governments, data brokers, and creeps? If I've already sold you, awesome. Here's what we're doing. Starting August 13th, we boycott. And we don't stop until they repeal these stupid rules. Stop using YouTube, cancel any memberships, YouTube Premium subscriptions, YouTube TV, anything like that. And stop using YouTube Music, anything. Hit them where it hurts. Their wallet and their traffic. Next, send letters. I know a lot of y'all are international, so I don't know how effective that will be, but send letter. I don't know how much, it might not be super plausible, but if it is, send letters. They have an actual mailing address. Bug the shit out of them. Get them so fed up that they have to give in. Also, there's a petition linked in the description, plus some other stuff. I don't know how effective that'll be, but it's at least something. Draw your fucking line in the sand. We can win, but we have to put in the work. There's a lot more of us than there are of them. And I know some of you probably have issues with this, so here are the main counter-arguments I've heard. And also, here is why they don't work, okay? First of all, just watch stuff made for adults. Okay? Really? Really now. You'd be perfectly fine stopping watching anything about Undertale and Deltarune, anything about Five Nights at Freddy's, anything about animation of any sort, anything about Nintendo, anything like that. You're willing to stop watching all of that? You'd be just fine moderating what you're watching, that you seem like an adult to please the faceless corporation that wants to own even more of your personal information? Really, you'd be just fine doing that? Alright, then go on your own. But I don't think you are. The price of freedom is high, but it's a price I'm willing to pay. And if I'm alone in that, so be it. But I don't think I am. Second, really? You're boycotting on this tiny channel? What do you think that'll do? And yeah, you're right. That's not going to do a ton on its own. But yes I am. And I hope you do too. Because for us to win, we all have to be unified in this. Don't break the strike, don't give them any business. In order to beat someone, you have to hit them in their weak point. And for a big corporation like this, their weak point is their wallet. Number 3, how much is this even likely to do? And, you're right about that. This might not actually do all that much. But, you want to know something? There's only one way to make sure this works, and that is for all of us to fight together. Once again, there's a lot more of us than there are of them. If we stand together, we can win. In the description, I've linked a few things. First is a Tumblr post going into more detail about all the stuff that I've just gone over about how we can win. Second is a petition you can sign. I mentioned that earlier. That petition, not sure how much it'll do, but it can do something. Third is my plan, specifically, because, if you're watching this, you probably watch my channel, so third is my plan for what I'm going to do. Basically, Twitch channel, and probably, TikTok or something, so that I can keep posting shorts, because shorts are fun, And fourth is a Discord server about this boycott, also called the Blackout, which I think is the worst name for it, but whatever. And I keep saying this because it's true. We stand together, we win. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty or give me death.